My name is Graham. I'm Irish. I'm living in London, pursuing acting, writing. Just want to be in the creative circle, I guess. Just expressing and meeting other people who inspire me. And yeah, Christine is certainly one of those that I met through an acting workshop. So that's how we've gotten to know each other. Yeah. Is that a worthy introduction?
It's a good introduction.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I met Graham at a Shakespearean acting group, and he was the first person to speak to me. I was very, very shy. He immediately approached me and was the first person to to be my friend in acting gymnasium.
Oh, thank you. It's very nice of you, but to interject a little bit, like in this workshop, like we have people who are like performers and they're pursuing acting, and we had, should I say, but out of all of those personalities, there's big personalities. It was the one person, yourself, who was like reserved and didn't give much away, that I was like, I'm most intrigued by you, you know? And like we had a conversation earlier about me having friends that like I like to try and get them out of their shell and help them to be a bit more confident, but I don't think that was the case. I think I was genuinely intrigued. I was like, I want to know more because you weren't apparent in any way.
He was worried that he was annoying me because you were more expressive and inviting. You were very inviting, and I was very closed off. And we were just saying about how, as INTPs, you know, there's that stereotype. Like I remember C.S. Joseph saying INTPs are genuinely worried that people might be stupid. And I think, I mean, it was social anxiety, but I think also I didn't know what kind of person you were, and I think I was being too closed off to acknowledge the fact that he's definitely not stupid. For some reason, my reservation was more like, what if he's not? What if he's, what if I can't talk to this person? What if I think it's partially, you know when you first meet people and you're not sure how to be yourself. Like we were also discussing this, we were saying like, you get to a certain point where you feel like, I'm just going to be myself anyway and it doesn't matter. But then for a long time, when you're in new situations, you get like very drained because you have a barrier where it's like the real self is there, but it needs to meet someone that they trust so that you can then come out and actually show it, and it's not tiring, and then it's easy. I think that's something we both have, that problem, even though he's an extrovert and a feeling type. But
I often call into question though about, am I an extrovert? Because I love my own time and I feel very safe in my own time, and I need my own time. You know, I often think about the time that I have away from work and the obligations and things that I'm committed to, which is becoming less and less these days, but I often think about that time and how much of it I genuinely want to spend alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do call into question, I'm like, am I an extrovert? Am I an introvert? And then I analyze myself, or I observe myself around other people, and I'm very, I think you can even really see it now in our body language, it's like
we kind of have like the stereotype body language of our types.
Yeah, you're very like, you're almost like a painting, and I'm like bursting out of the painting,
Which is like in the group as well, in the theatre group. I mean, as soon as you were the first performance I saw as well, because I remember we had not horrible director. I mean, we had a director who's certainly a character, we could say.
You're being nice, but anyway, yeah.
I feel sad for him. I think he has a hard life, but I think Graham was on, like, they kept running the same performance over and over, that same scene. What? He hated that scene, but
which one?
The one with the belt and the...
Yeah.
We were doing a Midsummer's Night's Dream, but like redone so that it was a modern festival, which was also really outdated.
Yeah, and he just did a view of how he wanted it to look. Like, there was no leeway for creative...
It's like sex and drugs.
Sex and drugs. Sex, youth and drugs.
It's going to be funny, people are going to laugh.
Yeah. If you say this line in this way, in this exact way, and make this exact movement, people are going to laugh. It was like he expected us to be like, oh my god, really? People are going to laugh. It's like he's hanging it over your head. People are going to laugh if you say it this way. I'm like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He didn't understand the script at all. But they kept running the same scene, and Graham just was like, kind of owning the stage. You were just a presence. I remember this. And then even off stage, you were just, I guess, as an INTP, I mean, we have this obsession with, they call it like this obsession with truth. It's almost like being very, what's the word? Very precision obsessed. And we tend to see ENFJs in a bit of a skeptical light, because you're less precision and more, not that you don't have precision, but when we see you in interactions, you're kind of like the ones who take over the room and bring other people into your energy and kind of spin stories, and you're like spin masters, almost like politicians, like really good politicians. And I think INTPs tend
just like taking over?
Not taking over, more, you know, someone who's like a media manager who just like walks in and they're like, I'm going to spin the story this way, and I'm going to get this reaction and this reaction and this reaction, and then this person's going to respond in this way, and I'm just going to bring everybody into my warmth and put them all at ease, but I'm also going to be like owning it, right, and owning them. And as INTPs, we tend to see, not you, I mean, I didn't see you in this way. I wasn't like, he's a spin master, how dare he, I can't talk to this man.
I've been called worse.
But it was more like, that's how we see, like, as a personality, like for an INTP who's like, you know, if you ask me a question, I'll go on an extremely backwards in my head ramble to get to this very small point that I want to make specifically. And then an ENFJ is just like, you were telling me about the story that you wanted to write about the character who is like a natural storyteller, and he has like this almost like a mythical place, but in modern society as the storyteller.
Yeah, that kind of like re-emerging as like a role within society. You know, because we were talking about historically, like I want to say they were called the two a day in Ireland, but I need to confirm that. But they were like the storytellers, and they were held in very high regard within Celtic society. I really feel like I'm messing up history there. I feel like, you know, but within ancient Irish like history, there were these storytellers who were huge parts of the hierarchy of these people, because the stories that they told, you know, they meant something to the people, and they were a way of the people relating to things like war and love, and you know, it was
almost like a priestly role.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking, I was like, is it magic? Is it spirituality? Is it something, you know? Yeah, it's like people connecting through them, connecting to a shared experience through these people who help them to feel that way.
Yeah. And never in a straightforward way either. It's not about truth in a very specific, didactic, this is what happened, this is factual, and anything else is, you know, like everything has to be spliced down to like the actual reasons, and there's a sort of morality forced on it where it's like there's true and there's not true, and there's correct behaviour and incorrect behaviour. It's more like the story is symbolic and immersive, but you don't know what the symbols are. You react emotionally and not logically, and not in a way where, like, there's a thing I really love about Nietzsche where he's saying about how it's not about what's being said, but it's about how it's being said. It's almost like the Dionysian theatre experience, you know, where it's all happening. It's like, it doesn't matter what's being said. It's like, is it being said is it done well? It's a performance. It's always a performance. Everything is a performance. Like, you don't question the performance. You don't try to take it down to truth. You don't try to splice it up into really neat logic.